Hello everybody and welcome back to the Funk Watch Collective. My name is Michael. I am your host and it has been a while. If you're a regular watcher on my channel, I have gone missing for a while, but as you can see, I have a completely different setup. I have a new desk. I moved some things around. I'm working on lighting, also family stuff, a lot of sickness and stuff because it's that time of year. And having a toddler, it's hard. So here I am back again. I do have some upcoming reviews, but I thought I would reintroduce myself in regards to my watch collection. So I thought I would do, because I've picked up a few watches since last we spoke. So I thought I'd go through a bunch of them. I'm obviously going to be doing a review on a few of them, but I just wanted to welcome you back if you've been here before. And if it's your first time, hey, how's it going? My name is Michael. Why don't you hit subscribe and we can be friends, kind of? Anyways, let's go ahead into it and I'll meet you at the table. Well, all right, and off we go. Let's grab our first one. This one, how interesting is that? So yeah, I found this online. Somebody was wearing it in Asia. Look at that. Does it remind you of anything? Yep, a Breitling. But it's actually an Elgin. So this is made for the Asian market. And I started searching for these and did not really find any. I was on eBay the whole time, constantly looking for it. And then all of a sudden one came up. I can't remember where I got this from, but he was a lovely gentleman. He initially wanted about 150 American dollars for it, and I ended up talking him down to around 100. Obviously, it's a quartz. It does a bunch of interesting things that I'm not going to bother getting into, but I love the look of this watch. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it reminds me of a Breitling. I don't know if it's because there's just so much stuff going on with it, but I absolutely love it. And yes, there's a battery in there too, and there's another time zone. But yeah, for me, I don't know why. I've had some people say that that's ridiculous and ugly, but I absolutely love it. There are different versions of this. These rider tabs right here, sometimes it comes in gold. That one's really nice too. But to find why, there's something about this. I really liked this. I don't know why. I can't explain it. It's art. These are watches. It either speaks to you or it doesn't. And this one spoke to me, so here it is. So there's my Elgin Aero Stealth or Aero Gear Stealth. So that's a nice little piece. When I was going through my collection to show you guys my new stuff, I realized I have a lot of Seikos. This is referred to as the Seiko Daytona before they came out with their new kind of speed timer Daytona thingy mabobber. So yeah, so this is obviously a chronograph, which is all fun and dandy. I got this again from a seller in Asia. Great condition. Let's have a look at that buckle. Sometimes when I run into watches, I buff them out myself and make them look nice, and sometimes I don't. This one I haven't touched. I like it just the way it is. No issues, no problems, ticking away. Beater watch, obviously, a beater watch. But yeah, so there's another one. Vintage watch I picked up from a local flea market. Oh man, what to say about this watch? So when I first kind of started getting into watches, there was no way I was ever going to have a Breitling. So I started looking up Breitling and what have you. Hold on, let's get this going. This is a hand wind. And what came up is that Breitling and Secura have a relationship of sorts. Is that Breitling bought Secura, and there's Breitling movements inside. Some people sell these for the price of like lower scale Breitlings. I don't get it. I've always wanted one of these. When I picked it up, it was in really bad shape in regards to this bezel. So this bezel now moves. It's a friction bezel. But when I first got it, it was not moving at all. So what I did was I took some WD-40 and I sprayed it in between there and the sides, and I grabbed a napkin and I literally just rang it back and forth. It was really hard to do. It was like, but I ended up doing it. So now it does move. There's the back. And yeah, I picked this up for anywhere between 120 and 150. That's, my memory's horrible, but yeah. So anyways, yeah, I ended up putting it on this Marlin Bando. I think that's what they're called. They're from CNS, which used to be cheapest NATO straps. They have amazing sales. I picked this up for like $1.95. So yeah, check out cheapest NATO straps. Oh, sorry, CNS.com for great strap options. So there's that. Okay, another Seiko. So I've seen a Seiko online once or twice, and it's octagonal, hexagonal, whatever, and it's a Silver Wave Z quartz. But there's something about it. It had an integrated bracelet. It spoke to me. So then I started going down the rabbit hole of the Silver Wave, and to me, this was a pretty watch. I picked this up again from Asia, frictional bezel. Not the original strap. The original strap that came with it was a bit more ornate, but the problem is that the clasp wouldn't stay closed. So I grabbed this from another watch and put it on. But that's the Silver Wave. Nice dial on it. Okay, next one. I just got this from the States. This is a ultra limited edition. They only made 15 pieces of these. This is the Imperial Watch Co. The owner used to be in the Navy, a younger gentleman, and he got into watches while he was, ooh, that's horrible. Let me wipe that off. He got into watches, I guess, don't quote me, but I think through his grandfather's watch. And anyways, he ended up really liking this aesthetic and style to it. To me, these are a darling of the microbrand watch world. The first time I ever saw one of these, I think, was on Reddit. I saw the blue. So yeah, this is called the Royal Guard 200. So that's all I had was the blue. And I put my name down on the list because every time I went there, they were completely sold out. He only did small batches. He just recently did a collaboration with a company who does just bezels. And he had literally one of one. They're all unique bezels, and every watch had its own name. This watch's name is called Ghosted Green. And like I said, they only made 15 of these. And I had early access. They had a tropical, they had a burgundy, they had this green, and they had their blue, and there's just something about this shade of green that spoke to me. So I picked it up, and because I'm cheap and I live in Canada, I had it sent to a wife's family member in the United States. So I didn't get it for a while. I got it a couple weeks ago, and I've worn it almost every day. It comes with a nice flat link bracelet. It really hugs the wrist. Beautiful. 4 levels of micro. There's the Imperial Watch Co. Nice smooth clasp. As you can see, in immaculate condition. It was brand new. So yeah, I absolutely love this watch. If you want me to do a more full-on review of this watch, say something down in the comments, because I've been thinking about doing a review, a more in-depth review on this watch. Let me wonder if you can hear that. Yeah, nice ratcheting sound to it. Beautiful. Everything lines up. QC is perfect. Great watch. All right, on to the next one. And it's another Seiko. And I know I have said, oh, my daughter was playing with this one. And this is hard to turn because this is brand new. I got this watch from Australia, brand new. It came with a green, the kind of brown, I'm color deficient, rubber strap that came with it. And I went ahead and picked one of these up off eBay because I like the way that it looks. And I think it looks tough like that. Now, I know I've said in the past, blech, solar, but there's something about this watch, and I can't explain what it is. I don't know if you can see there, but there's some, there you go. You can see some texture to the dial. It's almost like sand, which I love. This thing glows crazy. Also, something that I love. Again, I don't like that it's solar, but anyways, that's beside the point. I could do a whole video on how I feel about solar. I believe I've gone on that tangent before. However, when I was looking up reviews on this watch before I pulled the trigger, and I only picked this up for like 200 Canadian dollars with the exchange rate with Australia. But anyways, I saw a gentleman on YouTube take this shroud off. And it ends up being a 40 millimeter watch. It looks a bit strange with 1, 2, 3 holes on the side of the case, but good gosh damn, it looked beautiful. And he put it on like a brown leather strap, and it looked absolutely amazing. So I'm like, I need to do that. So when I got mine, I thought I had a Allen key that could fit that, and I couldn't. So I ended up having to order those. But anyways, when I ended up getting it done and I had it off, I absolutely loved it. I just put it on because I don't like it kind of sitting around being naked. So yeah. So to me, this is a watch with options. If you want it to be a little bit smaller and you can kind of take that off, and it's literally a strap monster. I love that it's black. It goes with everything. Anyways, there's another Seiko. I could inundate you with Seikos. I won't bother. This is one of my first vintage watch purchases. This is a Hamilton Electric. Look at that dial. It's like a sunburst golden craziness. Date, obviously not the original. Nice and stretchy though. I like that it's thicker. So this comes off, even though it's vintage, this comes off as a bigger watch. Because remember, I have a 7.5-inch wrist. Well, if you didn't remember, I'm telling you now. I have a large wrist. So vintage watches seem to look really small on me. I've owned a 36 mil Rolex Datejust, and it just kind of disappeared on my wrist. So this is, 38. And for a vintage watch, that's pretty awesome. Nothing on the case back. I've had a little bit of problems with this. When I first got it, everything was fine. Then the battery ran out, and I'm like, okay, so put in a new battery. Put a new battery, 2 days later, dead. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Watchmaker, he looked at it, he's like, yep, no, everything's fine. So I'm like, okay, so brought it home. Battery died 2 days later. It's just, I've been all over the place with it. So this has been sitting with no battery for over a year. And I just recently opened it up and put in a new battery, and it's been about 2 weeks, and it's going fine. So I don't know, question mark. That's the problem with vintage watches. That's another reason why I don't really do vintage watches anymore. Seiko. All right, this is an interesting piece. I got this from Australia, and the guy said, everything is fine, everything works, everything is perfect. And I got it, and it was a lie. And I contacted him, and he goes, oh, I'm over eBay, and just ignored me. So what I wanted, but not what I wanted. I wanted it to work. So this is a very interesting caliber. Let's have a look at the back here. Again, not the original. I ended up putting one on that matches it. I want to see if I can get the specs for you guys so you can look it up. I guess I could technically do a review on it. There you go. The H239 5040. So there's a history behind this watch, and it's important. I think this was... You can't quote me. I would have to do some research again on it. But there's historical importance on this. I can't remember if it's the first digital chronograph. This is from 77, 78, 79, somewhere around there. Very unique movement. So when I got this, like I said, it was working. It had the time. But it didn't have the correct time because I don't live in Australia. So I literally had to open up the back, and because this pusher is stuck. So I literally had to stick something inside and push the pusher. It was a nightmare. Also, this is very interesting. So this is a screw down, and this is for the analog time here, right? So when you pull this out, you literally have to pull and turn. Did you hear that beep? So with that beep, it's supposed to move. It doesn't move. Hence another reason why I was upset. And the guy was like, oh yeah, it works. Everything's fine. The light on it, I can't remember. Does it work? I don't even know if that's even the light. Anyways, these buttons are like seized, but I ended up setting the time, and it is what it is. I thought about sending it into the watchmaker, but I don't know. I have just other things to kind of do with my time. But yeah, a bit small, but I like it. It's nice. So yeah, Seiko Silverwave. What not to do? Let's not do another Seiko. I don't know if I ever talked about this one before. Okay, so when I first got into watches, I was in love with Casio. I worked at a place where I wore a suit, and I loved that Casio had different colors and shapes. So I used to match my watch with my tie on a daily basis. So I had every color except for orange. So yeah, I had yellow, green, everything. Anyways, so I fell in love with Casio, and I went down the rabbit hole with Casio, and I ran into this, and I loved the look of it. I knew it was a bigger watch, and back then I wasn't really afraid of bigger watches. But I always wanted a Frogman. I thought they were so cool. I love that there's, titanium, and, it does all the chronography fun things. And, but they were always too expensive. There was no way I could be like, oh yeah, so here's another one that's a special edition, it's $1,200, and here's another one that's $800. And like, I could never find one for a good price. And years and years and years later, when I got into vintage watches and I got into regular kind of watches, I was on Kijiji, and there was a gentleman that was selling 2 of them, and he was selling them for $200 a piece. And I messaged him. I said, "Listen, I've always wanted one of these. Could you do 150?" And he's like, "Yes, okay, sure, because you know what you're talking about. You know your Casio." So obviously we had a conversation. So he was nice enough to, and it was brand new. I still have the box papers, brand new. As you can see, there's no nicks, no nothing in it. So it was literally a brand new Frogman. And I wear this as a beater watch, usually in the summer when I'm near water. So there's that. Here's something fun. So a friend of mine, an older gentleman by the name of Paul, who's near and dear to me, he's also into watches. He was at a flea market and saw this watch and thought of my daughter. So he ended up picking this up for her. And it's an alarm watch, which is super cool. Let's see if I can get the... I haven't played with this in a while. No, not going to happen. Anyways, he picked this watch up. There it is. M-O-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E. Yeah. So... yeah, he picked this up for my daughter, and I'm so grateful. She loves this watch. Every time she sees it, because I keep it in my watch box, I don't give it to her, mainly because the second day that we had this, we went on a trip, and she was wearing it, and her mother removed her jacket, and it slipped right over her, because I didn't have this band, I had the original band, and it was more like a bracelet, so it slipped right off of her wrist and fell and hit the floor right on the plastic, and it broke in like 3 pieces. So I took this to my watchmaker. He put on a brand new, it sounds like oh, it's crystal. It's not like the plastic that it came with. There's a bit of a bubble to it. But anyways, yeah, I had it fixed. I ended up picking up this. It's such a fun and beautiful watch, and I'm very thankful to my friend Paul for picking that up for my daughter. Very, very sweet of him. Okay, fine, let's do a Seiko. I don't know if I showed you guys this one. I ran into this watch on Reddit, the watch exchange. There's a gentleman who had it brand new, box papers, tags, and with the exchange rate with the US Canadian, it actually made sense for me to go ahead and pull the trigger on this. It was brand new. Like I said, box papers, absolutely beautiful. This is a Monster. I have another Monster, the first Monster, the orange Monster. And what I don't like about that is that it is a hand one, so I'm going to be selling that at some point. But there was just something about... okay, this is called the Happy Feet. As you can see, those are penguin tracks in what is supposed to be snow. Got the candy bar Cyclops for day date. It's just an absolute honker of a watch. I love how those line up. Yeah, this is a fun watch to wear. I love that kind of gradient and textured dials. There's something about me and textured dials lately. Anyways, this one, as you can see, is made in Japan, so it's the JDM version of this. So yeah, another piece I love. And this bracelet is ridiculously comfortable for some odd reason, but yeah, absolutely love it. Got 2 more to go. I don't know if I showed you this one either. This is a Citizen Divers digital watch. So this type of watch initially comes on rubber with all the depth meter readings and what have you on it, and it actually comes with like a docking thing and with wires that's supposed to connect to your 1998 computer, where you can download all of your depth times and how deep you went and all that jazz. As you can see, I went ahead and put it on metal because there's just something about metal on metal with this watch. I don't know, it's so nice. So there's 2 versions of this watch that I found out the hard way. So if you were to check the temperature, where's the temperature? Is it mode? There's a button that tells you the temperature right there. This one's in Fahrenheit. Here in Canada, we don't do Fahrenheit. We do Celsius. So I actually contacted Citizen. They're like, yeah, we can fix that. We have to change the movement. So send it in and we'll let you know how much it costs. And I'm like, change the movement? I know that that's going to be expensive. So I didn't even bother. So I just left it at Fahrenheit. And yeah, this is a fun watch. It's nice and sleek of sorts. Fits the wrist pretty well. It's just a fun 90s digital watch. Or early 2000s, I don't know, it's in around there. There's just something about this that spoke to me. I really liked it. I found somebody on Kijiji, before I picked this one up, I found somebody on Kijiji selling the exact same thing. They didn't have any of the, the wires and the dock and whatever for it, and they wanted like $300 for it. I ended up picking this up for about $100 off of eBay. So there that is. Okay, so we're at our last one. Oh gosh, what do I say? All right, so if you know my collection, at one point I had a sub or two at one point. Let's go through them. My first sub was a two-tone sub, and I picked that up, and I wasn't wearing it at all. So I ended up trading it in 1-for-1 for a stainless steel sub. This was years ago, by the way. Had that stainless steel sub, no boxer papers, and it was missing the diver's extension. And I don't know why. I'm not usually OCD, but it just killed me that it didn't have the diver's extension. It felt incomplete to me. And also, again, it didn't have box and papers. So time goes by again. I ended up trading it for another stainless steel sub with box and papers. And again, for some reason, no diver's extension. So, oh gosh. So I ended up trading that in for a Breitling Navitimer and a 36 mil date just. And yeah, the Navitimer wasn't what I wanted it to be, so I ended up trading it back and ended up getting another stainless steel sub, this time with box and papers and the extension. And when I ended up picking up my Tudor Submariner, I just looked at the Tudor Submariner and the Rolex Submariner. I'm like, why do I have two of the same watch? This looks ridiculous. So I was looking to get rid of it. And my friend at Arnick had this come in. And usually I don't like lighter types of dials, but oh my God, I fell in love. So this is called the Rolex Rolesium. So yeah, this is platinum. That's a platinum dial, and this is a platinum bezel. And I absolutely love this watch. I never thought I would like a Rolex as much as I do this one. It's literally a go anywhere, do anything watch. It can be dressed up, can be dressed down. I love these polished middle links. You can tell I've been wearing it. There's some heft to it because I think of the platinum, but you know, like I said, I've owned other Submariners, and this has some weight to it, which is, it's not like, oh my God, it's so heavy, but like, you know, you feel like you're wearing luxury. You know, and these Yacht-Masters were brought out for that. They were literally a luxury piece. Now, these don't do, you know, 300 meters water resistance. You know, these were made for rich people on their yachts, you know, deckside, you know, no diving. You know, you can do some swimming with it. Let's see, I can't even remember. Yeah, good. Perfect. I got worried there for a second. But yes, there's a trip lock, which is great. So that helps with, you know, I could have a shower with this. I could go swimming with this. I could do the dishes with this. You know, again, it's a go anywhere, do anything. Completely different case shape than the Submariner. This is, in my opinion, much more sexy. It's more sleek. Look at that. Like I said, I never thought that I could love a Rolex as much as I do, but I do. This is amazing. I absolutely love this watch. This is, you know, I can't see this leaving my collection anytime soon. So anyways, with that, I'm going to go ahead and let everybody go. If you saw a watch that, you know, you want me to delve into and do a review on, don't hesitate to let me know in the comments. I truly appreciate you sticking around to the very, very end. And I want to wish everybody a great this, that, and other thing. And I'll see you in the next video.
Bye-bye.